This is Jesse Morrill, Academic Dean at Liberty Common High School. And in this presentation, I'm going to be talking about the pre-registration options for our current juniors who are planning courses for their senior year. The registration materials that you receive in the classroom will include your curriculum guide, which is also available online through the College Info website, and a transcript. Make sure you put your name on your curriculum guide, as we don't have enough extras to replace lost guides. Today you will begin selecting your courses for next year. The curriculum guide. The curriculum guide has a lot of information that is very helpful with the registration process. When you look through the guide, you'll notice the first several pages have information about college admissions requirements, different online tools that we have at our school, as well as some information about our school in general. The bulk of the guide, however, includes course descriptions, and that's what we want to look at right now. So when you're looking at course descriptions, I'm in the math subject, for example, you'll find this type of information about every course. One, you'll find how many credits the course is worth. 10 credits means it's a year-long class. 5 credits would mean it's a semester-long class. Prerequisites would tell you whether or not the course has a course that you need to pass before taking this course. So for example, with Algebra 1, you do need to have passed pre-algebra before being ready for Algebra 1. And then of course it lists the grade levels that can take this course, anywhere from grades 9 through grade 12. From there you can read a short description that gives you an idea of what the course is all about. If you have more questions about courses, you can always ask me, or you might ask a teacher in that subject area to give you a little more information about what a course is going to look like next year. General requirements. As a reminder, you do need 240 credits to graduate from Liberty Common High School. As an incoming senior, that's the number that you're going to be most concerned about. As you're looking at your transcript here in a moment, you'll be able to see exactly where you're at with your credit numbers, as well as where you're at with meeting specific requirements. As you look at the flow chart here, going into 12th grade, you'll be happy to see that things start to loosen up a little bit. And you have more options for electives because a lot of your requirements are starting to be met with what you've taken all the way through 11th grade. The graduation requirements are listed in your curriculum guide, and you can read through these as well. They're also listed in a summary on your transcript. Let's take a look at a transcript here, and as you look at your transcript you can follow along. The transcript has information about all the courses that you've taken during your high school career, whether you've been at Liberty or at another school during your high school career. Courses included will only be 9th grade through 12th grade courses, and you can see those listed all the way down on the left side of the page here for this sample student. Other areas you want to pay attention to. Up here you can take a look at the GPA. The simple GPA is just simply your GPA based on the grades you've received in all of your courses. The weighted GPA includes the extra bonus points that you get for being in AP courses. If you want to read more about how that is calculated, you can find that information near the front of the curriculum guide. Also listed on your transcript that's important for you to be aware of is the graduation progress. So as you look at this table, you can take a look at all of the different requirements that are in the Liberty Common graduation requirements table, and you can see where you're at in terms of meeting those requirements. This first column here is what is actually required in terms of the number of credits. The second column over here includes what you've earned up to this point. Remember that it's not going to include any courses that you're currently taking here this spring, because you have to receive a final grade in order for it to go on your transcript and begin showing as earned credit. The final column would show what you still need in each of those requirements, and you'll want to pay attention to that as you're making your selections for your senior year. So now, having looked through your transcript, you should have a pretty good idea of what you still have to take for next year in order to meet requirements. And we're going to go into selecting your classes for next year. In order to get into the PowerSchool form that you need to use to select your courses, you're going to go to the LCHS website. From there, you're going to click on PowerSchool Login, and then you'll log in with your assigned numbers. If you've forgotten your login numbers, which are also the same for your Naviance account, they should be printed at the bottom of your transcript. So now this is a sample student's registration form in PowerSchool. I'm going to go through each of the subject areas to give you an idea of what you need to take as a senior and what you need to be thinking about. Again, senior year is great because you do have a lot of options, but you do still want to stay in your course subject areas regardless of whether you've met the requirement or not. In most cases, you still will need to take more classes in your course subjects to meet the Liberty Common High School requirements. When we look at English first, you'll see that generally you're going to want to take 10 credits of English. You can certainly look at your transcript and see what you have left, but most of you will have somewhere between 5 and 10 credits remaining. From here, you can take a look at all the classes that are offered. Many of the English electives here would be of interest to seniors because you maybe haven't not taken them yet. So classes such as business and technical writing, comic literature, debate, journalism. If we look at the next area, logic and rhetoric is a new course this year, as well as world literature. These are all English electives that are options for you. If you want to take an AP English course your senior year, then AP Comp and Lit would be the class that you would select. Also, if you happen to have failed a course, or if you have, for some reason didn't take a course that is required of you, make sure that you sign up for that as well based on looking at your transcript and what you know that you need. I'm going to go ahead and sign up for AP Comp and Lit. And you'll see here that my course pops into this category. I can go in and change it if I want to and edit those options if you log back into the program. Under history, now one thing to keep in mind is that government is a graduation requirement at Liberty. So if you have not taken government up to this point, you will need to sign up for either American Government or AP US Government. Okay, those are your two options. AP US Government, it is recommended that you've taken the regular government class first. However, it's not required, so that would be an option for you. You'll notice there are some other elective options for history, including Vietnam War and Civil War. Also, we have a macroeconomics class that we're offering next year. So I'm going to go ahead and select government, and I'm going to take macroeconomics as well. Now for math, I will want to choose the next math class in the sequence for me, and this is also based on a conversation that I want to have with my math teacher. Okay, so make sure you talk to your math teacher about what class makes the most sense, and you can also refer to the table that's in the curriculum guide for that flow chart. I'm going to select college algebra for my senior year. Okay, now as we look at science, your science requirement, again, is going to be dependent on what you've taken up to this point during your career. For most seniors, you will have gotten through biology, chemistry, and physics. If you haven't passed all three of those courses, then you do need to take one of those. Make sure that you get that done in your senior year because those three are required. Then there is a 10-credit science elective requirement that most of you will be needing to complete during your senior year. So you have options such as anatomy, AP Biology, AP Chemistry, AP Physics C. Make sure you take a look at the prerequisites on all of those courses. And there's also an astronomy class that's an option for you. I'm going to go ahead and select anatomy. Under foreign language, now many of you will have met the foreign language requirement at Liberty. It's a 3-year, 30-credit requirement here. And if you took foreign language through your junior year, then you're probably in good shape. But many of you may want to go on and take another level of foreign language. So you may want to go on to Spanish 1, 2, 3, or Spanish 4 or 5. You may want to take AP Spanish. You may want to take AP Latin. Depending on the level that you're at, you can certainly choose that. So I'm going to sign up for AP Spanish. Engineering. Now we're getting into the electives. So if you haven't taken an engineering course here besides the Intro to Engineering, this would be a great opportunity to do so. There are a number of options available to you, including bioengineering, electrical, mechanical, robotics. There's also senior design if you have taken an upper level engineering class already and you want to go into a year-long experience where you're designing a project and seeing it all the way through. So take a look at those options and select something that you might find interesting. Personal finance. If you've not taken personal finance yet, it is required, so make sure that you put that on your schedule. If you took that in your junior year, then you've met that requirement and you're in good shape. PE and health. Remember that there is a 5-credit PE and health requirement, so if you haven't taken a PE or health class yet, you do need to take one your senior year to make sure that you fulfill that requirement. Music and theater, there are a number of options here, as well as the regular band, choir, and orchestra offerings. This year there is a new music composition course, as well as advanced musicianship is back again. Introduction to Music Theory is a new course for this year if you're interested in that. Art. Number of options in art. One thing you want to pay attention to in the curriculum guide is that there is a rotation for art classes now. So over the next 3 years, there'll be several different art classes offered. For seniors, you'll want to pay attention obviously to what's being offered next year in particular, and that would be what's listed on this menu. Computer courses, they have not changed at this point, so we still offer the same menu for computer options. AP Computer Science is a good one for anybody who's interested in studying computer science later on after high school. Other electives. Now in the other electives category, you've got choices such as Ancient Greek, Classical Mythology, Vocabulary Mastery. These are good choices, and also Study Hall. So if you choose to take a Study Hall class, then that would be an option for you as well. Many times students do, and remember that if you want a study hall class for both semesters, you would need to check both study halls, as that would get you a study hall for both first and second semester. So once I've gone through, I want to make sure that I've got 80 total credits because I need to fill up my day. So again, you want to look at that. If you're going beyond 80 credits, then you have too many courses and you need to take something off. If you're going over or under 80 credits, then you need to add courses to your schedule. The last thing that you'll need to do is add alternate courses. So from here, you'll be able to look at all of the different options that are available to you, and you can choose. You want to choose at least 2 alternate courses that might sound interesting to you. So I'm going to choose a couple alternates, and the reason that we do that is that sometimes courses do not work in your schedule, as many of you have probably found out. Sometimes courses don't actually go if we don't have enough students sign up for them. So we want to make sure that we have some backup options that we can go to in building your final schedule. Once you're finished, you would click Submit, and then we come to the next part in the process. So after you've gone through your PowerSchool menu and you've talked with your parents and you've looked at all the options, what comes next? So what we want you to do is, again, make sure you do go over this information with your parents. You take it home and you look it over together when choosing the courses that you plan to take for next year. Then you're going to come and see me by signing up on the calendar that's taped to my door. Make sure that you do that. You're going to sign up for an appointment. Bring your transcript with you and your materials with you so that we can have a good conversation about what you've chosen. And we will together finalize your course request by looking at what you've entered into PowerSchool. Remember that your selections are not final until you've made that appointment and met with me, so that we make sure that you've selected the right courses, that you've got the courses that you need in order to graduate and best prepare you for what you want to do after high school. We must have this meeting completed by March 1st in order to finalize your courses in time. If you have any questions, please contact me. My email address and phone number are listed here on the screen, and I look forward to working with all of you as you plan your courses for your senior year.